This
I have no idea.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, the time being 6:02 p.m., I'd like to call the meeting of July 22nd, 2021 to order. Before we get started, if you are joining us virtually, please mute your microphone during the meeting unless you want to speak. Otherwise, background noise will interfere with the meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I make a motion to enter into non-public for RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2A, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee or the disciplining of such employee or the investigation of any charges against him or her unless the employee affected, 1, has a right to a public meeting, and 2, requests that the meeting be open, in which case the request shall be granted. We expect to be back into public session at approximately 8 p.m. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call vote.
Constantino, yes.
Chessman, yes.
Myra, yes.
Ruggles, yes. Campbell, yes.
We are non-public.
This conference will now be recorded.
The time being 8:55 p.m., I'll make a motion to come out of non-public session.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public meeting of July. Seal the minutes of the non-public meeting of July 22nd, 2021, because the reasons justifying the need for the non-public session still remain.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
No. We have one other issue that we need to discuss, and that is a letter. Can I read what it is? Not that, but we have a letter from Cindy Reinhardt.
So Cindy wrote a letter to the board that she asked me to read to you. So I've asked Jeannie to read this to the board as I'm too emotional and hurt and do not want to embarrass myself before the board and residents. Being denied a severance package purely because I'm an elected official cut me to the bone. I am stunned that my loyalty, dedication, and 22 years of service to the town and its residents was not recognized nor appreciated. Whether or not the municipal association said I am elected official and not an employee, they did not say you couldn't, which means a board could grant severance. Notably, in 22 years, I have always followed all aspects of the employee handbook, including participating in health insurance and completing timesheets for paid time off and holidays. This clearly puts me in an employee category regarding this issue. I've always looked out for the town's best interests. I even made sure the town would be covered with a seasoned town clerk tax collector that could start working on day one and who would also be a good fit to work with Kim. I also spoke with Jeannie to let her know about my tax books would have to be audited before the new town clerk tax collector begins. This is how much I am dedicated to the town. A couple of things I'm proud of. When I became the tax collector in 2008, there were 61 mobile homes that were delinquent for at least 4 or more years and should have gone up for deed years before. I took initiative and with permission of the board, I took the delinquent mobile home owners to small claims court, winning every case. Presently, there is only 1 mobile home on the deed list and I expect it will be paid. Please know that this was the first time I'd ever been in court, let alone representing the town as a prosecutor. After my success, I became a leader in the New Hampshire Tax Collectors Association regarding small claims court. I gave numerous workshops on this subject to other tax collectors so that they could collect their town's money. Tilton was one of the first towns in the state to accept online credit card payments for motor vehicles, dogs, and taxes, also accepting credit cards over the counter for clerk transactions. This fact alone kept our office successful and busy during COVID, while other towns were forced to create new processes. I have continuously worked hard to bring my offices up to date with leading technology and services, always looking for better ways to serve our residents. Our office motto, every resident should be smiling when they leave, and we hit the mark at least 99.9% of the time. I've always represented the town of Tilton, not just Cindy Reinhardt's, but Cindy Reinhardt's Tilton Town Clerk Tax Collector. I was one of the first members of the Main Street Committee, helped with the Vicky Virgin Food Drive, was on the chat committee for the Senior Center, a member of the Tilton Northfield Rotary Club, started and ran Trick or Treat on Main Street with the Main Street Manager, Old Home Day, Summer Fair, Make-A-Wish, Special Olympics, and many other organizations. Honoring an elected official with a severance package upon retirement is not illegal, it is discretionary. It is my hope that in consideration of after 22 years of commitment, service, and dedication, that the Board of Selectmen will respect and appreciate all that have contributed to the town and reconsider their position and award me the severance. Respectfully submitted, Cindy Reinhardt's.
Move we reconsider.
Second.
Motion and a second to reconsider. All those in favor say, or is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Um,
Oh,
question, reconsider discussing it, because usually
Reconsider
after
the vote.
decision, you, a motion to reconsider is to bring it to the table to rediscuss it. If you make a motion that we're offering to offer the severance back, should be different. So
She's-
Pat, what do you specifically,
I'm bringing it,
Reconsidering the vote.
vote, right,
to
because-
bring it,
Well,
to bring
reconsider
it to
the
discuss?
vote.
So you would,
I'm making a motion to reconsider the vote.
Okay. Now, I mean, so we're going to vote on the amount and everything after that,
so
right? I don't think you understand. Is that
Oh,
right?
I understand.
Okay,
And then we'll make a motion.
okay, I just
Right.
want.
all right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Nay.
Nay.
Motion passes.
Make a motion that we,
20 days,
That would be 22 days, wouldn't it?
20 days.
Meet.
No, 20 days. That's what it says in the.
make a motion that
Okay.
we pay the town clerk tax collector upon retirement 20 days of severance, which equals to 6,000.
I don't know.
20 days. Severance,
Okay, it's $6,208.54.
$6,284.
$6,208
$6,208
and 54 cents.
and 54 cents.
Second.
Motion is in a second. Any discussion?
It's well said. Said it last week. I tried to articulate it, but it's very well said.
John?
I understand that we have, nobody is doing all the great things we've done, and that some type of recognition should be at hand. And yes, we can go and award severance packages for elected officials where it's unprecedented. We've never given one for, we've had selectmen for 20 years or whatever, you know, people served on different boards into elected positions, have done many of all those things. And it's like, now who deserves one as an elected official? And that's the difficult part. With our Ken Randall, elected official, town moderator, served there, did all that, all these things for years. We've, you know, yourself, Pat, you've been on many boards and stuff like that. A lot of notable things. Myself, Eric, Joe, all elected officials. That's the part I think we should do something for, but I don't think we should offer an employee package for it. It's something.
I don't think that any of us collect a paycheck for 40 hours a week for 20 years. And she has. And I think that, and she's been treated as an employee. We pay time off for all of those times with health insurance and so on and so forth, and on and on. And plus doing that job. Yes, she's an elected official, but she's been treated as an employee. We are elected officials for a 3-year term, and we can get voted out, we can't, but we don't work a 40-hour week. We have other jobs, we do other jobs. It's very different from what she's doing. It's a unique position. She's working 40 hours a week, and she has been for 20 years. So that's the difference. I think I'd be in the same position if I worked 20 years, like what Catherine did. She didn't work 40 hours a week for 20 years and collect a paycheck and insurance and pay time off and everything. Cindy did. And I think that's the difference, and that's where I'm making that separation.
For me, it's, she got treated as an employee for 20 years. When she didn't have, then she got a lot. She got a lot of perks being that, getting that insurance and getting the vacation pay over those 20 years. But that's just for me.
Question.
Question's been called. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion fails.
Motion to adjourn.
Sorry. So the nays were Eric, Joe, and John. And I just really quickly, Zoom meeting on Silver Lake, July 27th at 5 o'clock. I'll resend the link, the Zoom link for anyone who's interested in attending. They are doing it in person as well in Belmont if you want to go in person.
How big is that hall? Do you know? Anybody been in Belmont Mill?
On a fourth floor or something like that. I don't know.
Belmont Mill?
That's a fairly big room in the mill building. I used to go to a teacher cooking class in there.
I spent last Friday in there, day in every inch of the building.
Where is it?
So when you first go around the road, you know where the parking garage is? That
I
building right
don't
there.
think it's at that building.
Bel-
I don't think it's Belmont.
Belknap Mill? Oh,
No,
Belmont.
Belmont.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
Belmont.
parking garage. What?
It's 14 Mill Street.
You can
It's not as big as this
I think
room,
so.
but I mean,
Yeah, but this room has equipment in it.
like this big to the file cabinets. It's fairly good size, the whole top floor. One end is a kitchen.
Okay, just the link, that'd be great.
Okay, so for next week, I just wanted to tell you, you got Representative Harvey coming in for a legislative update. Conservation Commission's coming in at 6, and then we'll have a non-public for performance appraisal kind of, and you'll hear from Chief Pizer too. August 12th there's going to be a public meeting on Vista Heights. August 12th, we will also have a public hearing on accepting the American Rescue Plan funds. It is $370,915. I submitted the paperwork today, but we should probably, just to be safe, we did accept Gopher funds, but just to be safe, let's go ahead and have a public hearing on it.
How much was it? 370?
$370,915.
Did we decide not to have a meeting on August 5th?
I have that as a question, but I haven't got to that yet. And August 12th, I think, yeah.
You forgot to put cake on the agenda.
Cake,
August 12th.
August 12th.
Ella's birthday.
Big cake.
Oh, okay. Cake. I said cake.
If we have to show up, we're having cake.
Wait a minute. So, and then wanted to ask you, so you remember, Kevin, DPW director came to you with a
I
proposal
remember him.
taking our excess yard waste to his parents' property. And I did talk to Primex about it, and they recommended that we have an agreement drawn up by our attorney. Well, before I go and ask them to do that, because there's a concern about, liability of what's in the waste and everything. So before I ask them to draw up agreement, because Kevin's asked me again, is this something the board would like to do? So I wanted to find out if you want to do this.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem like we have any other options.
If Kevin still wants to do it, yes.
He does. He's the one who asked me.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and ask the attorney to draft something up. And then August 5th, there was a discussion because I think one of the selectmen was not going to be here to not have a meeting on August 5th.
I would like that to happen, but that's just, I'm one of 5.
I'm just afraid August 12th. Be here
Till
till
we make the
11.
decision that.
Right.
August,
I am too. I say we have it and not have any major decisions.
Heard that before.
Well, I mean,
I can be here.
Things happen.
I can be
no,
here.
you can Zoom.
I can, but I can be here. One of my children who will be with me actually has to come back because they have to work on Friday. So I can bring on Thursday, I can come back, drop her, be at the meeting, and then I can return to vacation. Why? She's got to come back anyways.
Because you couldn't.
But, just in the past, it's been the common courtesy of selectmen that if somebody is on vacation or something like that, we have the meeting. They join by phone if it was an emergency type thing.
Yeah.
To make a decision,
Right.
and we put all major decisions where that we put them up, but we keep holding the meeting.
Right.
Because, there's 5 of us.
We're all gonna have a
We'll
vacation
go,
at some
all gonna
point.
have a day we can't.
I was gone for a month when my brother had the brain 5 years ago.
I have to bring her back anyways, and I don't really feel like doing it on Friday, returning on Friday, leaving on Saturday.
Well, then I don't feel so bad.
Right, I guess
So that's
the
easy.
consensus is like a light agenda. I was just trying to give everyone a break.
Now,
Motion to adjourn.
oh, you rotten. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.